He married her to destroy her father. But what happens when revenge starts to feel like love, and love starts to feel like betrayal? Scarlett didn't cry. That wasn't her style. She packed her things and moved into the guest suite, 3 doors down, emotionally miles apart. No texts. No snide comments. Not even sarcastic good mornings. Damon noticed. Of course he did. She found a post-it on her nightstand, talk. She left one on his, with a lawyer. The next morning, he cancelled a global board meeting, something he had never done in 15 years. Scarlett, he said, standing in her doorway like a man lost in a house he built. Why? She asked flatly. His jaw tensed. Your father, he didn't just ruin my company. He ruined her life. The woman I loved. He ran a deal that crashed her family's business. Her father took his own life. She followed 2 years later. Scarlett's breath caught. So this was all revenge. I didn't plan on you. That's not love, Damon. That's proximity. Her voice didn't crack. But his resolve did. She walked away. He didn't stop her. Scarlett dug deeper. Late nights. Password guesses. Old articles buried in forgotten archives. The truth unraveled in pieces, financial records, off-the-books trades, ghost companies, and one name that kept surfacing in whispers. Then she found it, her father's signature on documents linked to a hostile takeover, the same one that destroyed a company, and the woman Damon once loved. She confronted him, her voice steady despite the storm inside. You didn't just hate my father, she said. You loved her. Damon didn't respond at first. His silence was heavier than any denial. And I'm what? The substitute? A stand-in for a woman you lost? He stepped toward her, jaw tight. You're not her. Scarlett's heart twisted. Exactly. I'll never be. Later that night, she stood in front of her father. You bartered me like a pawn, she said coldly. You ruined lives, then wrapped it in business talk. I was protecting us, he insisted. No, she said, voice sharp. You were protecting yourself. He reached for her. She didn't flinch, but she didn't stay either. She walked out the door without looking back. For the first time, Scarlett chose herself. And she didn't belong to anyone anymore. Back at the penthouse, Damon found Scarlett in the kitchen, barefoot, hair wild, wrapped in one of his crisp white shirts, eating gelato straight from the tub with a golden spoon. You always steal my clothes, he asked, leaning against the doorframe, arms crossed, voice low and tight. You always stalk your kitchen like some brooding vampire, she fired back without looking up. He didn't smile. Just stared. At her legs. Her mouth. The soft curve of her neck. The chaos she brought into his pristine world. You could have told me, she said after a pause, voice quieter now, eyes still on the tub. I didn't want your pity, he muttered. She finally met his gaze. You think that's what this is? He stayed silent. Always the silence with him. When she walked past, brushing against him with the faint scent of vanilla and frost, he reached out, grabbing her wrist. Not roughly. But with a grip that said don't walk away again. You're not just some placeholder, he said, voice low and dangerous. Don't act like you're forgettable. Her heart skipped, not from romance, but the sharp edge of something deeper. She yanked free. You can't have me and your revenge, Damon. And she was gone. The next few days felt like walking barefoot across broken glass, sharp silences, lingering stares, and an undercurrent of something neither of them dared to name. He brought her tea without asking. She mocked his culinary crimes again. Still can't toast bread without a fire extinguisher, she said over breakfast. I only burn things I'm emotionally attached to, he replied, deadpan. She blinked. He didn't clarify. They shared a couch, each sticking to their corner like a silent truce. Fingers brushed when they reached for the remote at the same time. Neither moved for a second too long. Later, she sent him a meme, "I'm not yours, but I'm also not anyone else's." He replied with one emoji, fire. It shouldn't have meant anything. But it did. Scarlett started noticing the way his eyes followed her when she left the room, like he was trying not to care and failing. Damon began pausing mid-work call whenever she laughed, just listening. They didn't speak about the past. They didn't talk about the kiss that hadn't happened or the argument that never fully ended. But something had shifted. And it was growing. Quietly. Dangerous. Neither of them knew what to do with it. But neither of them walked away. At the charity event, she wore red. That red. The one that made photographers double-check their lenses and made men forget their wives stood beside them. Everyone stared. So did Damon. He had seen her in gowns before. But this? This was war paint. Scarlet silk molded to her curves like a second skin, her lips matching the dress like a challenge. When an overeager investor leaned in too close, Damon was suddenly there, his hand on the small of her back, firm and possessive. "Easy, Hades," she murmured without looking at him. "You're not my bodyguard." "I don't like people touching what's mine," he said, eyes locked on the man now backing away. She arched a brow, lips curling. "I'm not yours." He didn't argue. But he didn't move either. Instead, he pulled her a little closer, camera flashes erupting like lightning behind them. Maybe it was for the press. Maybe it wasn't. Later that night, he didn't knock. Just stood outside her bedroom door, shirt unbuttoned, jaw tight. "I don't know what this is," he said quietly. Scarlett leaned against the doorframe. "Then figure it out. Before someone else does." She closed the door slowly. This time, Damon didn't walk away. He stayed. Scarlett woke up at 2 a.m. to find Damon asleep on the hallway floor, hoodie over his eyes and one hand resting over his chest like even his dreams were guarded. She sat next to him silently, the cool marble floor biting into her skin. "No love declarations?" she asked, voice low but laced with humor. "No lies, either," he mumbled without moving. She watched him for a beat longer, the dim light from the wall sconces softening the sharp angles of his face. Without a word, she slid a pillow into his arms. He accepted it without protest. No apologies. No promises. Just a quiet moment between the wreckage of pride and the ruins of revenge. Maybe not peace. But something unspoken. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe.